Hello guys, welcome back to another video now. Been on the grind this week, really have been working hard with my YouTube videos, and yeah, it does pay off because your support is actually unbelievable, and yeah, I honestly can't thank you enough. Now in today's video, I've got another little interview, okay. Now, you may all know him, Benjamin Bloom, okay, great guy. He's a brilliant guy, he knows what he's talking about, he does his research, and yeah, so today I Skype call him. So yeah, I Skype call him in this video, and I basically talked to him about the game coming up, Norwich versus Ipswich, the derby. Who doesn't love a derby? But yeah, we talk about the derby, and yeah, I do apologise because the quality of the Skype call wasn't the best. Like, my camera quality on my laptop is awful, so yeah, I do apologise about that, but you can still pick up what we're saying and stuff like that. So here is the video. I hope you enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. Leave this video a like if you have enjoyed it, and be sure to go check out my recent videos. Here is Benjamin Bloom. So Benjamin, we have got Norwich on Sunday. How are you feeling?
I think I'm past. Normally, Alex, I'm really nervous, and you know, the tummy starts going and whatnot. But I think we're all just kind of resigned to the fact that they are a lot better than us, and I'm fairly relaxed. You know what I mean? If we lose, it's going to be, well, look, they're top of the league and we're bottom. If we draw, it's going to be, oh, we might have damaged their promotion hopes, taking a couple of points off them if Leeds and Sheffield United can win. And if in the most unexpected way possible we can win, it'll be the biggest surprise in derby history. So I'm fairly relaxed, I'd say. Yeah,
they've got a very scary team, don't they? Who is your biggest threat?
Well, Pookie's the one that gets all the goals, and I mean, his finishing is ridiculous. He barely has any touches in the box, and he's going to get probably 23, 24 goals by the time the season's ended. But remember that he's the focal point at the front of it, and all the tearing apart of other teams happens before Pookie even gets the ball. So it's the cleverness of Buendia, the pace of Hernandez, and Stiepermann's quite clever. So the danger, it's all over the pitch. And I think Vrancic, who's their reserve centre mid, has just won Player of the Month. So it's everywhere. And then just to add to that, down the flanks, two brilliant fullbacks, Lewis and Aarons. It's all over, but obviously you'd expect Pookie to be amongst the goals if Norwich are going to be scoring on Sunday.
Yeah. Who would you start? Who? If you had to pick a starting team for Sunday, who would be in your team?
Well, I mean, obviously Białkowski's back in now. There's questions. Would he bring Knudsen back? Who knows? It will likely be Kenlock if he's not going to swallow his pride on Knudsen. Hopefully Chambers and Collins are both back. Which would be interesting, because it'd be interesting to see whether Pennington would get in or not. You would assume James Bree will play right back, and then really it's going to have to be a 4-3-3. It needs to be a tight defensive midfield to cope with all their rotation. So I would suspect you'd then be looking at Chalobah, Skews and Downs, which unfortunately would mean Judge out on one side. I love Freddie Sears, but it might be interesting, Alex, to see if it was maybe Judge, Quainer and Keane, but I just think Sears will be in. So I would suspect a three-man midfield to cope with their rotation, and I don't see Sears being dropped, and I don't see Knudsen coming back in. So possibly something very similar to what we saw at Villa.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, moving on to Lambert, okay? Paul Lambert, obviously he's done some great things for the fans, but we have to remember he did some great things at Norwich, didn't he? What sort of reception do you think he's going to get at Carrow Road on Sunday?
If this was like last year, and it was like 12th versus 13th, I think the game would be all about Lambert, and it would be a bit of a circus, and it would be quite heavy booing, because that would be the focus of the game. The truth is, the Lambert narrative is not as important as Look, Norwich are top of the league and they're on a genuine promotion push. What are we, 16 games left? So really, if I'm a Norwich fan, I'm probably not too bothered about Lambert being there, because it's a promotion push and they just need to win the game.
Yeah, agreed. Tell me about some of your past experiences. When we played Norwich, tell me about some of your past experiences.
I mean, the best one's obviously the 5-0. Look, we've been terrible against Norwich for like 12, 13 years now. So the 5-0 was incredible. I remember Tarico scoring, and he was a cult hero on I think it's a Friday night game or a Thursday night or something back in the late 90s. I remember one game where we got a penalty, like 91 minutes. They'd just built the top of the North Stand up, and I just remember Darren Bent took the penalty and it hit the post and bounced around him, and then I think Pablo put it in at the end. So there's been some really good ones. I hate to say it, Alex, I've never seen us win at Carrow Road. I wasn't there for either of the Danny Haynes games, the Fabian Wilness stuff. So it would be a first for me, but obviously you were there last year. It's just a galling place to go, isn't it?
Was that your worst experience last season?
I think it might have been. I do remember there was one where, and I think this is where it all started, where Craig Bellamy scored at Portman Road, and I was certain we were going to win that. And obviously, when we got promoted, when we were chasing for the league, Brian Hamilton was Norwich manager. He knew all about us because he'd been an Ipswich coach, and Ewan Roberts scored twice. Those were two really, really deflating ones, but ultimately we were better than them then. It was pretty. I mean, you can speak to it. It was just galling last time, wasn't it? Horrible.
Yeah. Right. I want a score prediction for Sunday. I know it's hard, but score prediction.
Give you two.
Give me two. Yeah.
We'll either lose 5-0 or we'll shithouse some incredibly lucky 1-0 with an own goal and ultra defence. There's going to be nothing in between. They're either going to batter us or they're going to get really nervous and we're going to get really lucky. I can't see.
I agree with that.
I can't see anything in between. Alex, what's your view on the policing and what we're going to have to go through getting into the ground?
Personally, I think it's sort of our own fault, isn't it? Really, for what happened last season. Damaging their light was a bit silly, off the rails, wasn't it?
You caught that on camera, didn't you?
I did get it on camera, yeah, but didn't want to put it anywhere.
There's CCTV everywhere. Come on.
Yeah, I know. True. And the alcohol ban as well. Like I say, it's sort of our own fault, really, isn't it? Don't know. What do you think?
I'm a bit worried. I said on the Talk Norwich City thing that they've antagonised us now. Yeah. So, people are going there with a bit of a bee in their bonnet, aren't they? And if the atmosphere then turns nasty, does the alcohol ban and all the other stuff, does that actually make people less likely to cause trouble? I don't know. Does it do the opposite and actually?
I think it could cause hassle.
That's my worry. I hope not, because it's not the 1980s anymore. But you can't treat decent people, and the majority of Ipswich fans are decent people. You can't treat decent people like criminals the whole time.
Yeah, I agree.
When they're not, Alex.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Just trying to think what to ask now. So obviously we're bottom, and like you mentioned earlier, we've got 16 games-ish left. Do you think our season's over if we lose to Norwich, or do you still think we can build momentum and stay up? What are your thoughts?
I mean, we've had this conversation so many times, haven't we? Lose to Bristol City, is the season over? Lose to Millwall, is the season over? Lose to every statistic, every piece of evidence you can find says we're going down. There could, it's not impossible that you can win, and now it would have to be 4 games probably on the trot at some point there to even get them in and around survival.
Yeah.
Alex, you don't, in terms of the actual Norwich game, which is what you asked, the relegation issue doesn't get sorted when you're playing away at the team that's top of the league. It gets sorted when you're at home to Reading. When you're, I mean, I don't know how many of them we've got coming up. We've got Bolton away, don't we? And we've got Reading at home, and we've got Wigan away. Those are the games where you can get that 3-point swing against, well, a 6-point, you know, 6-pointers. Those are the ones. I don't think when you're calculating for relegation, you're looking at Sheffield United away, Leeds at home, Norwich away. But Alex, look at the last 2 games as well. You said 16 games. The last 2 games are Sheffield United away and Leeds at home. So are we really talking about 14 games to get the points rather than 16? Because they're both going to be in probably a 3-horse race for the title coming into those last 2 games. So look, I'm kind of playing the game of, look, let's assume we're going down, and anything better is going to be a nice pleasant surprise, and let's hope that and it would be miraculous now, complete change of form when you've only won 3 games in 30 happens between now and the end of the season. Yeah,
good answer. I assume you're going to Norwich on Sunday.
I will be at Norwich, I can't stand going there. Do you know what? I've been there doing championship stuff, and I've seen them lose a few times. I saw Fulham beat them, and I saw Brentford beat them there, but I just can't seem to ever get to see us beat them. So, not my favourite ground in terms of my emotions when I've been there, but yes, I will be there early and not drinking like everybody else.
How are you getting down? Are you going on the train? Driving?
I will be in the Bloomobile, which you can obviously see in my match review on YouTube. After the game, the good old VW will be racking up its millionth mile of the season, Alex.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.